Right. Hello, everybody. Welcome to the presentation for the Library Brasiliana. I'm going to open up our screen share. Okay, so here's our library. It's located in Sao Paulo, Brazil, and it's for the University of Sao Paulo. It's by Eduardo de Almeida, Minlin Loeb, and Dodo Arquitectos. And as you can see right here, it's located like right in the middle of the university. It's got a water feature over in the site plan, which we thought was pretty cool. We're going to be talking about that a little bit later when we go through innovation. And then as for the layout, it's got all the things that a library should need. So a little covered square atrium and atrium library, a bookstore, long-term exhibits, the IEB lobby, which is Institute for Brazilian Studies, and some conference rooms and administration stuff. And something cool that we talked about or are going to talk about later is the inclusion of the auditorium. All right, moving on to the history. Just people outside.
Okay, so for the history of our building, there's actually quite an interesting history about the collection. So the architects behind the project were Rodrigo Mindlin, which is actually the grandson of Jose Mindlin, who had a large Brazilian history book collection, which he made an agreement with the University of Sao Paulo to build a building if he would donate his books. So that's pretty much half of the reason why the library exists. The other half of the reason is to house the Brazilian Studies Institute. So half of the building is Mindlin's collection and half of the building is the IEB, which is the Institute for Brazilian Studies. And then they're kind of met with the covered walkway.
Everyone, I'll talk about the innovation example about the library. The interesting thing about this library is its roof. All spaces are connected by a large independent and roof structure with laminated glass. It has a central canopy, allowing natural light, saving energy with an additional system of UV filters. And another thing is its climate and vegetation system. It has a many plantation around the sites, and while construction of this library, there have been many trees that are being planted over here. And yeah, about the material, it has exposed concrete, and the panels are on the front side, which covers the sunlight in daytime. And about the auditorium, it has like most of the library doesn't have the auditorium, but this one has the auditorium, which is a multi-purpose. Outside, it looked like it's being floated and it is surrounded by the water.
All right, so now we're going to go into our template for our group Miro board. So we have the three sections of studio communications, the conceptualization, and the synthesis. So for studio communication, we basically just have a few boards that are split up into three sections, one for each of us, and we're going to post what we're in charge of that week and the things we've talked about. We're going to have the project module, the due date, and then when we edited the communication. So for this project, we talked about how we were splitting up the work and then just kind of memos on our communication. For the conceptualization, this research one, we pretty much threw down all our research, so it wasn't as organized. But for the next several weeks, we have our reconstruction. We're looking to just write down each drawing, and then when we have them in progress, we'll move them over to the in progress section. And then when we're done with them, we'll have them moved over to the done folder. Then for the expansion project, we use this template because it looks like we can kind of say one expansion and then detail it out into smaller details and smaller sticky notes. For the improvement section, we can have several different things that we can individually approve upon. And there are these 6 little boxes in that template that we'll use to describe that and put sticky notes up onto and comments. And for the exhibition, we thought of just having things in progress and needing revisions and kind of approved by our group. So we'll have things that are finished in the end, things that are in progress in the middle, and then the revisions we'll review with each other on the sort of blue one. And then for the final presentation synthesis of everything, we're going to be dropping our presentations that we present to the class just like we just did. And so that concludes our presentation. Thank you.